the hottest wrestling podcast on the planet, Beyond the Barricade, with your hosts, Dollar Bill, the Cleaner, and the Brain. Let's get started.
Welcome aboard, everybody, to another Monday full of excitement. Rain, take it away. What we are going to talk about?
Gentlemen, AEW had an absolute banger of a show last night.
But Bleacher
AEW
Report
Revolution.
sucks.
I will have to say, um, I've been watching AEW since day one. There's maybe one show that can compete with this, and that was All Out 2021. That's how good of a show we had last night. Every single match was a beautiful match, very entertaining, from top to bottom. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about it.
I only could catch the last match because Bleacher Report effed me to the point where I couldn't even watch it until then.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the issues with Bleacher Report. Thankfully, I do traditional pay per view, and Jesus Christ, Vince's WWE's back. Take me.
We'll go into that why in a second, but yeah, it's like Bleacher Report should like if they could have the capacity to do other pay per views such as like UFC and whatever and like boxing and all this other stuff. They had to. Oh God, it's not Vince really did kidnap him. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
No, it was just I was missing my cues. I had to wait for cues.
All right. That was I was talking. It's like if Bleacher can do all this stuff technically with other other sports, and they can have their own pay per views. What the hell is their problem with this one?
Yeah, no, like I have no idea why that service is not good.
Not good is an understatement.
And unfortunately, like they stopped doing the movie theater, so that's no longer an option.
Boo.
But they are trying to go into like Dave and Buster's and like bars and shit.
Okay, that's a little better.
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's play a video game, watch some wrestling, have some beer, play some more video games, watch more wrestling.
Eat some wings.
Eat some wings,
Yeah.
yes. That's
Gotta have the wings.
But yeah, I mean, I watch it on traditional pay per view, especially because I like it on my TV. I don't even want to try BR, the app, the Roku app. I mean, ROH, the ROH app for ROH pay per views works fine. So, what was it the last time? Final Battle? Yeah, I was able to get Final Battle perfectly.
Want to hear something funny?
Yeah, go ahead.
The website gave me issues. The app after just rebooting my stick was fine. That was the most screwiest thing.
You usually the website's better for me than the apps.
I know. Yeah, that's a weird thing. I thought it was really strange.
Yeah. And Dollar, we were talking about this last night, and I showed you what the damn thing was showing me.
Yeah, and the thing is, I got that from my tablet, from the screen, from the website, from another computer from the same website. So I was getting that all night, pretty much. And
okay, hold on. Tony's calling me backstage. I'll be right back.
If Tony's calling backstage, tell him to get some Coke for us. Damn it, he smokes some good shit.
I prefer Pepsi.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. But yeah, as I was saying, it was like we checked all that. We're still going. I was just so. So I just said, "F it." I'm just gonna do my stream, and then like whatever. And then Sprocket Fairy was being kind enough to basically, Country Girl say, was kind enough to give me a report, like all the live results while I was gaming. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Tony wanted me to mix with WWE, so I had to step away for a second.
Did he bring the Coke?
Yeah, we're gonna plant it in Triple H's office.
Nice. And look, Sprocket Fairy, we were just talking about you. I was just talking about briefly.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I wish there was a better option. I know internationally, I think they stopped using Fight for international.
Whoa, that's
Uh,
interesting.
But
because
that's
when
the
they were,
thing. They got
when,
cleared to use Fight because of the issues last night.
I honestly, I didn't, because the reason why I say that is because I didn't see Fight being mentioned during the international like markets.
Right.
They were
Right.
talking about Sky Sport and another website.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know if they still have the agreement with Fight. I mean, it held them out early on, but they don't really need it now. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wish there was a better way for people that can't get it traditionally on pay per view.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But all right, let's get into this whole show.
Let's
I mean,
start. Let's
Yeah,
start the card and let's break it
let's
down.
go from top to bottom. Well, let's go from bottom to top. Always
Either
save the
way,
best for last.
it's weird. You say the bottom of the card, but it's the first match of the night. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's
So
one of the
weird.
weird things in professional wrestling. So the first match of the night was a 12-man tag between the Bang Bang Gang and I'm gonna call him Planet Jarrett. Okay, I can't come up with anything better. And
That was
it's
on the 0 hour, wasn't it?
yes, we're
Well, it's
going
on
all the way.
zero. That's the
Yeah,
way they
that's where we're
mentioned
gonna
that.
start.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Because there is one specific thing that I would like to talk about from 0 hour. It happens in between the matches, but so we had the Bang Bang Gang taking on Planet. I'm gonna call him Planet Jarrett. That's not their official name, but it's easier because
Yeah.
it's Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal. I don't. I think it's Ranjang Singh. I still don't know his name.
Willie
I just
Mack.
Willie Mack and Private Party. That's a very, especially Willie Mack, because I don't. I never considered him a heel. He must have been a tweener.
Yeah. Like you.
And
Tweener.
if there's one person you guys should be paying attention to in that match, it is Willie Mack. He is so very talented.
He
You
is
know,
talented. I've watched a few of his matches, and he is amazingly agile for a big
you
man.
could definitely, I would definitely recommend going back and looking at his matches from Lucha Underground. So damn talented. Um,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to come out with a love child alert right now for Willie Mack.
mhm.
I think that he is the love child of Mark Henry and Bam Bam Bigelow
Let's
I
hold
don't see
on.
Bam Bam.
with his agility.
Mm,
Bam Bam was a big ass boy, and he was agile as fuck.
yeah, but the match itself, it wasn't a. In all honesty, it wasn't that much of a special match. I mean, it was a 12-man match, so there's not a whole lot you could do. But you know, it was a very fun match. To start things off, Jay White had a promo at the end, and he one thing was surprising. He declared himself the leader of the Bang Bang Gang,
Of course.
Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Yes, of course. Don't know how that's going to go over with the claimed. But he
Yeah,
also did
Billy's
say
not going to like that too much.
he also. Well, we should also talk about at the beginning of the match where once again Matt Caster forgot his rap, and it seems like they're going to be building towards something of that. And then also at the end of the match, Jay White, after he declared himself leader of Bang Bang Gang, called out. He said he was going to call a shot. He's going to start, becoming the main event guy that he was in Japan. And so, spoiler alert, it's been announced for AEW Big Business in Boston 1 week from Wednesday. We're going to get Jay White versus Darby Allin.
Ooh, that's going to be a banger.
I thought
I-
Darby was taking time off.
No, but somebody else's that we're gonna get into later.
Okay.
So, after the match, obviously RJ and Renee started talking, and then they played a promo. It was a return promo for Pac. Pac is on his way back. For those that don't remember, Pac is WWE's Adrian Neville.
Bastard Pac.
Yes, but the bastard
Yes.
Pac, because the Pac was his name before and after WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He wrestled so
Yeah,
there was Pac.
I'm just I hope he stays healthy this time
Yeah.
because he is a very underrated wrestler. He was a very big influence in the American High Fly status, or I should say, style. In his those late 2000s PWG, he's
Definitely.
he's so much smaller. If you look at the footage, he's so much smaller and he's got short hair, which is very weird. But man, he is. You could see he had that talent in him for a long time.
Yeah.
So the match after that was a women's tag match between. Oh, I'm forgetting their opponents.
Chris
Oh,
Statlander and Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart.
yes, Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
Yes.
It was a good match. I mean, it was nothing. Once again, it was nothing special. It was a pre-show match. Um, I do like this team of Statlander and Willow Nightingale, and I do like that Stokely Hathaway is now like they've kind of integrated him, and it's not like that creepy guy. He's like a friend now. So oh, somebody lost, but then
Oh,
again,
no.
somebody also won.
No, it just started.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute this a bit just so.
But yeah, no, it was a fine match. Once again, it was a pre-show match, so you're not expecting anything special. But before the show started, at the end of the pre-show, they played a fine tribute to a very good tribute to Sting, hyping up his last match. Sting! Oh, there he comes now. Woo! So yeah, then we're gonna start the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
First match on the main card.
wee.
Yeah. Woo!
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised they started with this match.
Yeah.
But
I'm
then
actually
again, I would have expected. Honestly, thinking about it, I would have expected Danielson and Eddie to kick off the show.
No, you don't. You want to save that for later in the show to build more energy leading into the main event.
Yeah, one match later. Spoiler.
Yep. You always want to be careful with that.
But yeah, no. We had Christian Cage versus Danny Garcia, or I should say Daniel Garcia, because Danny Garcia is a completely different person. Daniel Garcia for the
Danny Garcia is the Rock's ex.
yes. For the which would have made it very weird. TNT championship. I was really entertained with the match. Obviously, there was going to be some distortion with the rest of the patriarchy. Excuse me. But it was a really, really. It was honestly, it was a better match than I thought it was going to be. Because as good as Daniel Garcia is, I almost did it again. As good as Daniel Garcia is, I thought the story they were going to tell was going to be a shorter match, to try to hype up a little bit for a rematch, but also to try to keep Christian Cage hot. But Cage gave a lot. Oh, God damn it! I missed another cue.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Nah.
We're running too much time on pay-per-view. But you can still
Shut
hear
up.
me, so
Shut up, Tony.
Tony, go back to your Coke over there. Coke Mountain.
all right. I don't need a background. Um, but yeah,
Background?
no,
We
yeah,
don't need
no,
no
right?
stinking backgrounds.
You got one
Playoffs.
yours.
But Christian, what I was going to say was that Christian gave a lot of offense to Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, he did. Daniel Garcia pulled off some pretty impressive moves yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do see him as the future of AEW.
Absolutely.
He is going to be a major player. I think he's still under 30.
Yeah, he
So,
is.
Garcia? Yeah.
I have to step away for about 10 seconds. I'll be right back.
yep. Tony's calling
One,
him too.
2,
Um,
3,
4, 5.
5.
Um, but yeah, no.
Oh, right.
Daniel Garcia is going to be one of the. He is going to be one of the bright and shining stars of
Let's hope so. I
AEW.
could use some.
Yes.
Absolutely.
People do say that AEW relies on so many ex WWE guys, but then Daniel Garcia is somebody who absolutely breaks that mold.
Yeah.
Says, yeah, no, look at me.
Mhm.
I do wish he held the pure title a little bit longer. That is a title that's destined for him. Same way I would say that back when they first brought the pure title back, it was destined for Jonathan Gresham,
Mm.
and he won it. He won the original tournament to recrown the new pure championship. And when ROH was incorporated into AEW, you look at Daniel Garcia and you say, yeah, that guy, that's his championship. I wish we would have had more time with it, but he's so damn talented.
I
And
see him as a future TNT champion. I see him as a future international champion.
yes, I see it more into the international championship because, spoiler alert for one of the promos, Roger Strong said that the international championship is sort of like the worksman championship.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or the workhorse, I should say. So Daniel Garcia fits that perfectly.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, he
Mhm.
fits that. He fits that to a T. Yep. Right back.
Again.
Okay, what surprised me was right after that match ended. Now, obviously, it was due to outside interference from
Of
Nick
course.
Wayne. Obviously,
Obviously.
there wasn't much of a turnaround between that match to the next match, which what we said was Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson.
Damn dog.
And
Yeah.
I believe if it wasn't for the Osprey match, this would have been my match of the night.
Yes. I could see
Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston are two of the best wrestlers in the world. I know people don't want to give Eddie Kingston credit, but he absolutely deserves it. Why?
Yes, he does.
Because
that. Why? Somebody tell me why they don't want to give him
because
credit.
he has a gut, you know.
So what?
He doesn't
And
have the wrestler physique.
Yeah, he doesn't have
Neither
the
does Kevin
physique.
Steen. So what?
He
Kevin
doesn't.
Owens,
He's a new he talks like he doesn't talk like a professional. He has that New
He
York
talks like he's from the
accent.
ghetto,
Yeah,
which he is.
and
But he
but
gets the
Pete,
job done.
not only does he get the job done, but he has a connection with the audience that not a lot of people have today. He is
You know what
one
it
of
is? You know what he has? He
he's
has
real.
that every man quality.
Yeah, he's real. Well, another thing is that he's real. He is very good at blurring the lines. Because I remember, I don't want to bring him up, but I have to. When CM Punk first came to AEW,
Right.
he was very nervous. He saw Eddie Kingston, and Eddie Kingston said, "What are you having to be nervous for? You're CM Punk."
Right.
He was a big hype man, but only a couple of months later, Eddie, in the way he delivers promos and the way he talks in and outside the ring,
Yep.
he talked like he had a pure hatred for CM Punk. And it made you believe that he legitimately hates CM Punk. And then
Yep.
afterwards, even it was several years, very recently, he was asked a question about Punk in an interview. He still acts like he still makes you believe
That he hates him.
that he hates him and that promo was real. Eddie Kingston is real. One of the realest wrestlers you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
And he can cut a promo like nobody else.
Yeah.
And
doubt.
he's extremely talented. He has a psychological mind for the business like nobody else. He's the quintessential wrestler that you would want. And I wish Ring of Honor was separate to AEW because I wish him as Ring of Honor World Champion was the main event of every single show he's on. I want nothing but the biggest spotlight, and I want all the attention for Eddie Kingston because of how good he is. And the man that Eddie Kingston is, he will never accept that because he's never about him. He's a very giving person.
Mm-hmm.
Even in his upbringing, in the wrestling world, he is very giving, and he is a team player. He doesn't want that spotlight on him. He wants it on everybody else. And that's why you always want somebody like Eddie Kingston.
Exactly. He's been that way since day one.
Yes. Yes. Even though he's had personal demons that he's had to fight.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, who hasn't? But
Yeah,
he's
probably.
also, he's very, he still has problems with accepting love. And I hope those problems get fixed. I hope he does work on those problems because he deserves and also gets so much love in the wrestling industry, in the world, the community, not just from fans, but his peers alike. And I just want nothing but the best for him. That dude is so good. I love that dude.
That's a big It's a big thing for him.
Yep.
But again, it's like I don't believe when people say bad. It's like whatever.
Yeah. And that's one thing, although I will say, since Eddie Kingston won, the one thing I will say is that I wish it wasn't for the Continental Crown title. I wish it was for the Ring of Honor World title.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got that right now?
It's Eddie.
Oh wait, he has the
It's all part.
world title.
It's part of the three titles.
Yeah.
Ring of
the
Honor
crown.
heavyweight title, New Japan
Okay.
Strong title, and the Continental Crown.
So here's a okay. So
He's a
then
triple crowner.
right, but what's the difference? Because he said he wish it was for Ring of Honor instead of the Continental.
Oh no! So they had the Continental Crown Championship on the line.
Right.
Which
The
is all
other
three
two
belts.
titles that he has were not on the line.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I wish it was the Ring of Honor title that was being defended because they both have a huge legacy in Ring of Honor. I mean, Bryan Danielson alone means so much to the Ring of Honor brand. He's probably the biggest name to ever come out of Ring of Honor. Bryan Danielson, he was a Ring of Honor World champion, and he was a pure champion. He actually combined the two, which retired the pure title. He's probably the biggest name in Ring of Honor history. He is one of the first 6 people to be inducted to the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame, still the only class to ever be inducted. So Bryan Danielson is, when you think of Ring of Honor, you think Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted that championship to be on the line, because of both of their legacies in Ring of Honor. I felt like it would have meant more. And this is how I would have done it. I would have done it for the Ring of Honor title in a 30-minute pure rules match.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah. See that's the
But it
type
would
of
have been
match
tough for
that
Eddie because he does like to really mix it up.
he likes to mix it up, and I feel like they are both very technical. I mean, Eddie Kingston is highly influenced by the early '90s, mid '90s All Japan.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Um,
definitely.
stated
Oh,
that
you can
on
see
many
that.
occasions.
yeah, guys like Mizawa,
Kawada.
Kobashi, especially Kawada.
Yeah.
That's why he wears the black and yellow boots for Kawada. Which off topic, it's on I believe the New Japan website or their YouTube page. If you go on from last July when he was in Japan, Kingston, he actually got to meet Kawada, and it's a very cool video. So
Nice.
I do recommend going on their YouTube page and watching that. But yeah, he's very influenced by the that All Japan style. Brian Danielson was a leader of he was a leader of the American independent style that is very famous today. But he was trained in the New Japan dojo, not just by he wasn't just trained by Shawn Michaels. He trained in the original New Japan LA dojo. It's not the one that was same today. The one back then trained a lot of guys. Joe was there, Nakamura was there, Anderson was there. I think Fergal Devitt even trained there for a little bit.
Whoa.
But the big difference was that back then, that dojo had very Enochiism teachings. So
Hmm.
back then, strong style was it was truly strong style, unlike today where it's New Japan
Sneaking style.
has it's a mix. Today is a mix between strong and King's Road. But back then it was surely strong style, so it's a lot more punches, a lot more strikes, a lot more kicks, um, a lot more MMA style submissions.
Yeah.
He Inoki really enjoyed that MMA style, and you could see, especially in those early 2000s, he had a lot of guys uh, try to become MMA guy. At least give them MMA opportunities,
Yeah.
and a lot of them got their ass kicked. There's really one that stood out, and it was probably Suzuki. But then but the point is, that has also a very big influence on Danielson's career. So I think how much experience and their styles truly made that match so damn entertaining.
Right.
It was
Greg
absolutely
Wilmington.
a phenomenal match. There's no doubt about it.
Yes,
Two of
yes,
the most technically gifted wrestlers on the planet who can also beat the ever living hell out of each other.
yep,
And they
yep,
sure as hell did that last night.
yep. And Eddie always
I
does.
just, I love the fact that Brian Danielson finally gave
Finally
him the
shook his
respect
hand,
he deserved and shook his hand.
and it wasn't going
Yep.
to be like it wasn't going to be like the long-standing rivalry between Kingston and Claudio. Um, where it was always about respect and Kingston never being able to shake the hand of Claudio for that respect. And by the time he was going to do it, Claudio jumped ship to WWE.
Hmm.
Um, but it wasn't like that. It was you beat me again and shook their hands. And AEW released, if you go on their YouTube page, Kingston and both Danielson are at the trainer's room, getting checked out, and they're cutting a promo together. So that was a really good thing to see because I want to
Uh,
see. I don't want to. I know he likes playing a heel, but I don't want to boo Danielson. I don't want to boo Moxley.
right.
Claudio is another story. I don't mind, even though I like him. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Claudio,
Oh hell
but
yeah,
I like
Claudio's
Claudio.
awesome.
Like, I will
How many
always.
times did we see Claudio live though?
Oh God, I lost counts. Every time he pretty much went to the ROH show, he was there.
Yeah,
See,
him.
I didn't really get
We
to
saw
see
Danielson quite a few times.
I didn't
Mhm.
really get to see Claudio live a lot of times. I saw a lot of Cesaro live, but it wasn't until I think Full Gear was the first time I saw Claudio. No, um, it was. Oh, now that I think about it, I haven't been able to see Claudio live, but not before he went to WWE. It's
Mhm.
all been
Mhm.
in AEW or ROH,
Right.
AEW or ROH.
Yeah.
Another person that we saw a lot of in the early years of Ring of Honor, Bill,
Mhm.
is one of the commentators, Nigel.
Yes, yes.
I remember his
I
clothesline.
think I think we saw him and Morishima fight each other at least 5 times. They were
Yeah.
Morishima,
constantly
man.
they were
Morishima, I
constantly
remember.
constantly fighting for the Ring of Honor title.
So depressed about Morishima because
He was so
he was
talented.
so talented and beloved in ROH, and
Oh yeah.
he just let his life get to him, and he since retiring, he's been in a very bad shape in Japan, and I just want nothing but the best for him. He's a good dude.
What's going on in Japan? Because I haven't heard.
Um, he
Anything
ran
wrong?
out of money and was skimming people for money.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He also had some health problems, but he was getting on top of those health problems.
Right.
Um, but yeah, no,
Ooh,
he just made some very bad financial decisions and unfortunately took
Oh,
advantage of people.
unfortunately.
yeah. Hold that
Uh
thought.
oh. Hold it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's worse than that.
Before you present, I just want to say on a side note, I you don't know how bad I wish Ring of Honor was bigger back then. Especially those mid 2000s. I wish so goddamn bad Kurt Angle would have chose Ring of Honor instead of TNA because the matches he would have
Oh my
had with
God, that would have been
Bryan
epic.
Danielson, prime Nigel McGuinness, Morishima, Roderick Strong. He could have still
Yeah.
wrestled
Colt
AJ
Cabana.
and Samoa Joe there. Yeah, you could say Colt Cabana, but man, the amount of talent that was in ROH at that
Claudio.
time. Claudio, yeah. Chris Hero,
Yep.
Kevin Steen. I'm just foaming at the mouth.
All right, there. Get some, get it. Get some tissues.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
18,000 yen is roughly 130 or 140 bucks
Wait,
today.
wait, wait. Hold on, hold on, hold on. No,
Damn.
because the yen is weaker.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta go.
yeah. Because it
You gotta
used to
go
be
backwards.
it used
It's
to
like
be
a.
180.
It was like it was like at one point it was like $1 was about 140. Now it's like $1. It's like 80 yen.
I'm gonna look it up
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Japanese yen, 18,000. Okay, so it's about $1.20.
Oh,
120
still.
bucks is the 18,000. I mean, also you have to look at inflation.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what
Oh
was
yeah.
that? 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, even back then the dollar was still it was kind of like
yeah, it would have been
neck and
about
neck.
$100.
Yeah. Regardless, at least $100.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he fell into bad shape, and it is very disappointing because he had a very wonderful career, especially in ROH.
But the best thing was that like that's how I remember him was in ROH, and then after that, I guess nobody wanted to work with him.
There was one point where he did try to have he was I don't know if he did but he was going to have a tryout in WWE. They didn't like his uh look.
His look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing I had to say.
but
He was
when
good.
he left ROH, he did have decent career back in Noah.
Mm.
I do believe he won their GHC heavyweight championship like once or twice.
It should. Brain, you still have a site up. It should actually show you his championships.
I just
Yeah.
actually closed it. Let me just bring it back up.
Apu.
I think he also won the heavyweight tag team titles once. But he had the thing was by the time he did eventually go back to Noah, after like a year or two, the injury started to catch up with him. I know he had like back problems.
Mm.
There we go.
Yeah, 3-time heavyweight champion, 3-time tag champion, the
5 time.
global league, 5-time,
Five-time.
excuse me. One with Takeshi Riko, Kensuke Sasaki, Muhammad Yona, Maybach Taniguchi, Global League, I believe.
Global League.
No, that's not their version of the G1. That might be their version of the New Japan Cup. Oh no, okay, so it's N1 Victory. Yeah, so that is their
you could
version
just,
of the G1.
yeah, you could just highlight it. We would have seen it.
Mhm.
The
Michael
N1
Page.
Victory, I think, actually is right after the G1. Because the G1 usually starts or ends in like mid August. And I think that's when the N1 actually starts.
Well, of course, N1 would come after G1 alphabetically.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know why G1 is
Wow.
called the G1, but I'm guessing it's N1 because it's Noah.
Uh-huh.
Most likely.
But yeah, no, that's the one thing I love about Japan is that if you know, well, now you know the Continental Classic, AEW. Those are yearly things in Japan. New Japan has one, obviously the G1 Climax, and that's what the Continental Classic was based off of. Noah has the N1 Victory, and All Japan has the Champion Carnival. And you should see that. You should see the trophy for the Champions Carnival. It's this huge ass globe. I can look it up. Champion, but yeah, that's why I was happy with AEW adopting a league because these tournaments are so damn fun.
Mm.
And I'm so happy that people got to experience it now.
Yep.
Okay. So I have it right here, and I'm going to present. So if you see here, that is the trophy. And you see look at how big it is.
Whoa, that trophy.
It's huge.
I've seen it before. I just couldn't remember what was fun, but I've
That's
seen
a
it.
big
I've
ass
seen it.
trophy.
Yeah.
You know what that kind of reminds you of?
What?
Kind of reminds you of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. That's how big it is.
But wrestlers thankfully could pick it up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
even though it's big, it's still going to be relatively light.
But yeah, no, this is All Japan's version of their the G1 Climax.
Good. So
And I love those league style tournaments instead of just the bracket knockout version.
Mm.
And honestly, nobody better than Eddie Kingston to win the first one in AEW.
mm-hmm.
So the next match following that was
what should have been the Meat Madness match.
Should have been the Meat Madness. Still kind of.
Yeah, it was a meat match.
It was a slapping meat.
There was some serious meat slapping going on with 4 of the guys involved.
It was the All-Star
8-man scramble.
Yes. And if you give me 1 second, I will bring up the names.
I got it right in front of
I
me.
got it. I got it.
Perfect.
Jericho versus Wardlow versus Hobbs. Although one site says Powerhouse Hoops
Hoops.
versus Lance Archer versus Hook versus Brian Cage versus Magnus versus Dante Martin.
Hmm.
But everybody kept chanting meat.
Well, when the four big guys in the ring are slapping the shit out of each other, what do you
Yeah.
expect? Come on,
I expect some
think about
barbecue sauce next time.
yeah.
And even though it was a predictable winner,
Yeah.
it was a very, very, it was a scramble match. It was a very nice scramble match. I might have to say this is the weakest match on the night, only due to the rest of the matches being so good.
Yeah, so it's not like weak as in it's an F. It's more like all the matches are A's and this one's kind of a C.
Yeah, it's like a C plus B minus.
Yeah, so it's nothing
Hey
against
guys,
it.
I'm going to highlight something. I want you to notice something before we even get started.
Shoot,
Cleaner, read that whole thing again.
Hook versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer versus Magnus, Wardlow, Chris Jericho, and Dante Martin.
How many names is that?
That is 7. And
How many? What's the name of the match?
I'm gonna look right now. Hold on.
Who's the last? Here's the last one.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, because they don't have it there. They didn't list it there. I'm looking in the wiki. Wardlow, Jericho, Hobbs, Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, Dante Martin.
Yep.
Yeah, where's Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. Well, I guess,
he didn't slap enough meat to get named in the title.
Yeah, he wasn't in the Path of Rage or Path
Whoever
of
wrote
Cage.
Whoever wrote that article, you're getting deducted out of your pay, man. Dumbass.
Lost points.
Yeah.
Came from WrestleZone.
Yep,
Colin
they lost
Kessler.
points. Of
But
course.
Calling you out, Colin.
Next
Do your
match.
job correctly.
The next
Do your
match,
fucking job.
Yep.
which was Roderick Strong becoming the new
No.
AEW International Champion, the only title change on the night.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Damn it.
With all due respect, you just had to see it coming.
Yeah.
Oh, this one,
Yep.
yeah.
I think this is the
OC
coronation.
has been fighting hurt for a long, long time.
Not even just that. I think it's the coronation of the Undisputed Kingdom. Some people have speculated that we might see a return at AEW Dynasty. And it would have to do with the Undisputed Kingdom. I'm pretty sure we know who I'm talking about.
Could it be
Could it be?
someone who's got a permanent resting bitch face?
Liv Morgan?
No. Male version.
Wait, wrong one.
Was supposed to be in a movie and his scene got cut,
I was thinking maybe you were talking about somebody else, but no, yes. I forget where. Somewhere in the card, they do announce there is a promo for the next pay-per-view, which had been heavily speculated, called AEW Dynasty. They do confirm it. It's going to take place on I think it's April 27th, they said?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Sunday, April 27th
Okay.
in St. Louis.
In St. Louis, yes. So,
They're going to RKO country.
Stay
and
in
the
car.
reason why people say that it could be a spoiler, because MJF's group in MLW was called Dynasty. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, It all depends on how he's healing.
Hmm.
Because although they are not officially confirming it, all signs have pointed towards MJF re-signing with AEW
Hmm.
as far back as All In.
Mhm.
So,
Could also
because
come from the fact that Swerve Strickland said something about two major stars possibly coming to AEW, and it basically becoming
well,
a dynasty.
Mhm.
that is this week. Well, after we talk about Revolution, we'll talk about the upcoming weeks for AEW. But yeah, and these speculations and the signs pointing is all from WWE. WWE is under the assumption that he has re-signed with AEW.
They assume.
They assume. So if they
But
assume it,
we're also talking about something else.
um,
We are talking about two other people,
that's why
two
I
other
say
major
we
free
will
agents.
wait. We will wait till after we talk about Revolution to talk about that.
Sounds good.
He said he wanted
So,
revolution.
yeah. So Roderick Strong, new international champion.
All except for Mr.
Thankfully,
X.
thankfully, the I don't recall Undisputed Kingdom actually interfering much.
They didn't actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, which is very good. Because these are two very entertaining workers. I mean, Messiah the Backbreaker, Roderick Strong, Mr. Ring of Honor, and you got Orange Cassidy, who's probably one of AEW's greatest homegrown talent success stories.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, they put on a hell of a match. Roderick Strong, new international champion. We'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, indeed.
So
So,
after that,
right, that
um,
match. Wait, did you talk about after the match with Roderick? What happened?
um,
Kyle O'Reilly.
yes, yeah. Oh, how did I
I,
forget?
I'm about to say you gotta remember that match. That was
Yes.
kind of
Yes, yeah.
important.
So
Okay,
this is a story that's going to be unfolded, I think, over the next several weeks. Kyle O'Reilly made his return. He looked a lot. People have been comparing him to Shaggy, the real life Shaggy.
Zoinks!
Uh, oh, I forgot it. The guy that plays him.
Matthew
Matthew
Lillard.
Lillard?
Yes, Matthew Lillard. They were sharing pictures of them two looking alike, and very funny. So Kyle O'Reilly looks like he's about to attack, then has a smile on his face, hugs Roderick Strong. Then, when the Kingdom offers him the Undisputed Kingdom shirt, doesn't turn it down but doesn't put it on. And he walks out the ring, looking slightly confused. So, we may see what might happen with Kyle O'Reilly potentially joining the Kingdom, Undisputed Kingdom. Um, because this was also it was a slight tease back in the day. Also, if you were for those that might not know, 2015 Ring of Honor storyline. I remember watching it. Adam Cole had come. I don't remember if he came back, or he was trying to come back. Kyle O'Reilly was facing off against the Kingdom, and Adam Cole had he had come back from a neck injury, and he was helping Kyle O'Reilly in almost a reformation of Future Shock. But then
Mm.
Adam Cole turned on Kyle O'Reilly and rejoined his Kingdom brothermates.
Oh,
So
okay.
we may see this come into play, especially since AEW does keep along with storylines from not just their company's past, but other companies' past. So you
Mm-hmm.
may see this come into play when it comes to the story that they tell out of this. Okay, so the next match was a tag team match, a rematch,
BCC versus FTR, the battle of the acronyms.
and I loved the play into the NWA days
Oh yeah,
as
that
Blackpool.
was
Yes, Blackpool Combat Club came in with their own special football pads with spikes on them in tribute to Road Warriors.
I was wondering
yes.
about that. I didn't know if it was a
I
tribute or
love
just
that.
something
That
about.
was awesome.
I didn't know if it was a
Yes.
tribute or it was just something from, I don't want to say mockery, but something like
No,
Um.
it definitely was a
admiration.
mockery.
No, it was a
Yeah.
tribute because I didn't see any tribute from FTR, but both being from North Carolina and being in Greensboro, there had there was that this is gonna feel like a mid '80s NWA Jim Crockett Promotions tag
Mhm.
match.
Midnight Express versus the Road Warriors.
Yes,
Or Midnight
and
Express versus the Rock and Roll Express, because those were
Right,
some
right.
banging matches too.
Oh, they were. I'm just saying that it's just the way those two teams emulated their
yeah,
costumes right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Although FTR should have just done the Midnight Express thing. Probably make Cornette roll a little like
it was a little surprising to me. Like, the tag team match was amazing. And it was weird. Somebody had brought it up. The last time John Moxley had bladed or has
Bled.
bled, I shouldn't say bladed, but
yeah,
bled in an AEW ring was November. It's been several months, and there was a lot of blood in this match. None of it came from Moxley.
Ah,
All
It
of it
was
came from Dax.
Yeah, it was all Dax, and it was a hell of a match. And I'm actually a
It
little
was another meat slapper.
surprised. I'll tell you what, I'm surprised Tony actually dipped into the Vince McMahon playbook, having the hometown heroes lose.
Yeah.
Especially since I think the last time FTR also lost. The last time these two teams faced off,
damn.
No,
which
last time
was
they faced off 2 weeks ago on Dynamite, and it ended in a 20-minute time limit draw.
yes, you're right. It was a draw. So I'm actually
They were going for the
surprised.
shatter machine, and the bell rang.
Ding,
Yes. Now
ding,
that I
ding.
remember, so I'm surprised FTR lost. What
Wow.
about you
I
guys?
actually like the fact that they lost, for the fact that they can build on it to have future matches.
I mean,
You know,
I think this time you should have had FTR win. But and especially because the way they ended the match, it was. I'm not gonna shake your hand, but like that telepathic respect.
hmm
Like that's
yeah,
like
definitely.
shake your hand.
So
But again, my thinking is, yeah, you want to build this feud a little bit. You want to build it, but you want to build it slow. That's why the first match they had was a draw. This time they come out and FTR, the hometown boys, lose.
I don't feel like
Yeah,
there's gonna be another match. I feel like that rivalry ended last night.
I don't think
Mm.
so, because the FTR's been known to hold grudges, and
Yeah,
this is definitely going to cause a grudge. They're going to be
I,
like, you beat us in our hometown. You beat us in our home territory. We ain't going to let that stand. No, boys. We're going to have some more fun.
yeah. I think this.
I can see them doing this again at Dynasty.
See. I don't see it happening because of the way the post match ended. Um, I don't see it. It felt like a feud ender
Oh,
I really don't
okay.
see how it was a feud ender.
because it like Excalibur was saying, just because they weren't shaking hands, you could see the way they were looking at each other that respect level was there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because all
So
four of the guys laid it on the line.
they did, and I feel like now, because you know why, I feel the only way I could see them fighting again, because actually, you know what, we might have to save that for a little bit later.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna save it for a little bit later. So
Okay.
we're gonna go on to the next match, which was the women's title match between Timeless Tony Storm defeating Deanna Perrazzo by pinfall in 12:15.
That hurt.
Um,
That hurt me.
it hurt me, but I was expecting it.
Yeah, I
Um,
kind of was too, but
I'll tell you what,
it still
for
hurts.
a split second, they actually got me thinking that Tony Storm was out of nowhere going back to her old character.
Oh, when Mariah May came dressed out as her.
But as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh no, wait, that's Mariah May. I was thinking to myself, I was just hoping, like, what if Tony actually came back as her old self? Um, but the match was, I think, an ode to Stardom because it is probably this match was between two women that are extremely technically talented, and they both were put on very huge matches in Japan in Stardom,
Mhm.
especially Tony, very well respected in Stardom. I think she was at one time a red belt champion, which is their top belt.
Oh, yeah, that is a top belt.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, their match last night, which was, I don't think the live crowd appreciated it. I
Yeah.
appreciated the technical masterclass that they put on. There's a
You
lot of
can.
holds, not a lot of clean transitions and reversals. I loved it. I personally loved it. I love wrestling like that.
I
How'd
think
you
you
guys
did.
feel?
I thought it was. I was just one of the ones that I told you that I had problems trying to get into
Yeah.
watching because of it, so I couldn't get a chance to watch this one. I mean, I've heard it was like decent, not phenomenal, but not garbage, just in the middle.
It was a good match, and I think it could have been a little bit better without some of the outside bullshit.
Oh yeah,
No, yeah, I understand. I mean, one thing that a lot of people don't, I think, at least in this country, don't appreciate the very technical style that these two ladies are very good at, especially
Which is why
Deanna.
Diana is called the virtuosa,
Yeah, um,
and we have
they're
seen her in action,
they are very technical, and they are submission specialists.
hmm
So,
which also surprised me how it didn't end in a submission.
yeah, um, it could set up to another match, but I don't think it will.
I don't think so either. Not yet, anyways.
Yeah, not yet.
Diana will
well,
have to
yeah.
work her way back up into the title picture again.
Yep.
So
Um,
in the meantime, she can go beat on Julia.
and so next are the final three matches. Wow, just holy
Yeah,
shit. We have my number one match of the year right now,
Mhm.
candidate Will Ospreay defeating Konosuke Takeshita in like I said, the match of the year. And I'll tell you what, these two men just told the entire North American wrestling scene, top that.
yeah.
Will
They basically
Ospreay,
said hold my beer and
Yeah.
watch this.
I
Wait,
can tell you
who's
right
it?
now, Will Ospreay
Mm-hmm.
literally jumped the line into being the top guy in AEW with that match. I legitimately think we're going to talk about later what's coming for AEW post Revolution, but I really believe that Will Ospreay with last night's performance just showed why he might be AEW's biggest pickup. Because remember, he's only 30. He's my age. So he's got like another 10 years at the top.
Easily, without a
Easily.
doubt.
And you saw how good he is. Honest to God, I tell you this right now. The ending, I hope this is a spoiler. I hope this is a spoiler. I hope the ending to All In.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Oh, I'm Paul Heyman, and this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. Wow.
You've been warned, folks.
I really hope the ending to to All In is Will Ospreay winning the AEW World Championship.
That would be an absolute banger.
He will absolutely be the most over person on that show.
Yeah,
And I think
without,
winning
without a doubt.
the title on that night would be iconic.
It would be iconic.
Wrong company.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're not there anymore, so I can do it.
But yeah, and don't get me wrong, we should not be forgetting about Konosuke Takeshita. He was probably one of the biggest names in DDT for the last however many years,
Yeah.
and he's been extremely underrated, mainly because he wasn't working in one of the top three companies, or I should say the top two, because All Japan is not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Hell, DDT is bigger than All Japan now. But yeah, like he has been so underrated, and AEW finally gave him that chance, and he's just putting out banger after banger. So I'm so happy for Takeshita to have that moment. Your thoughts?
This
This is one of those.
wow.
This is one of those matches where people could say, like, if they want to say, "What's so great about Osprey?" I'm just watch the match. Just watch the match.
Exactly. That's
Don't-
all that has to be said.
just don't think. Just watch the match. Just watch.
Shut up and watch.
Very much.
One thing I also want to say, Osprey talked about it. That Takeshita brought out a side of him where he had to finish the match with a Tiger Driver 91,
Right.
which is such an insane move on
Yeah.
alone. And I think the only time Osprey has used that was against Kenny Omega. So
Yeah.
that shows you the level of competition that is now at AEW.
Yeah.
The Tiger Driver, the Styles Clash, and then the Hidden Blade. Apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those are his moves, but
I love the team.
some of those matches from like mid 90s All Japan, some of those finishers, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Some of those finishers scare me.
Let me
And
guess. Are we also talking about the Gonzo bomb?
no, I was thinking about stuff like not Northern Lights suplex, but the one where it's like a fireman. Kenta Kobashi did it. It'd be like a fireman's carry position, but upside down.
You mean a Burning
like-
Hammer?
Yes, Burning Hammer. That's what I forgot the name.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
such a
Danny Moss
sick
does
move.
that.
Yeah, but you remember the Gonzo bomb one, right?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Kawada did it on Misawa. Misawa tried to reverse into a Hurricanrana. but Kawada held his legs up, and then he just slams him down while it sounds I'm saying like kind of like a apologize position, but not protected.
Oh yeah, okay.
That yeah, I saw that's one of the moves where it's like it's even in one of the older video games. It was called a Hangman's DT, and it's like you just look at it and you're like,
Oh,
should have
you know
died.
why? Because uh oh okay. Because
Yeah.
there's another person that calls it the Kawada driver.
Okay, I've heard it's a Gonza bomb, but it's like I could believe the Quad driver
Yeah, no,
because he's the
okay,
only
I
one
know
who
what
could
you
do that.
mean.
Yeah, that's when we say finish like that. Yeah, that's a brutal one. And I
Yeah, the
remember
one on
when
Mizawa is insane.
yeah, and then I remember one time I saw Akiyama changed up his Exploder to a 98 with the wrist clutch, and I was
Yes.
like, oh shit.
And the whole thing about like those not all Japan matches was that they were extremely big on taking insane neck bombs.
Oh yeah,
They would land so many times on the neck and the head.
yeah.
That's what made these moves so goddamn sick. But
I
speaking about dangerous finishers, the special or the semi main event did not feature one of the considered a dangerous move, but it's not. Um, so Samoa Joe
mhm.
comes
Oh,
out
yeah.
on top. Something that
Wow.
I've seen coming. Um, so we saw last night that Hangman, his desire, his hatred for Swerve Strickland was
Knows
actually
no
greater.
bounds.
Yeah, was
Was
greater
what?
than his desire to win the world championship. Because um, late in the match, Joe has Hangman in a cookie to clutch.
Mm-hmm.
And Hangman sees that Swerve is coming to break up the submission. So Hangman taps out.
Mm.
And they played off as Hangman tapped out to screw Swerve
Yeah.
because of that hatred.
Hmm.
And I
Oh, I
think
could see that.
Yeah.
it was
So
a
can I.
very, very character building for Swerve. I think we're starting to see we're starting to see Swerve hit that main event babyface scene.
Hmm. Yeah, he's definitely getting there.
I
Did you
don't
see the look on his face? The absolute look of dejection on his face when
disbelief.
he's. Yeah. It was a combination of disbelief and absolute total dejection
Yes.
of
Uh,
being
it,
denied what he
Strickland.
thinks
yeah.
is his rightful place as the AEW champion.
It was a very good match. There's one part that I remember. Swerve. I remember hitting a dead eye from the top rope.
Yes, that was
Um,
insane.
yeah. Swerve Strickland, and I do love how they've been able to keep their feud going, Swerve and Hangman, and it's been entertaining throughout. And
It
in the
hasn't gotten
middle of it,
stale.
it hasn't gotten stale. And in the middle of it, they switched roles. I find that really, really cool.
And
Not a
well
lot of
played.
times you could see that double switch
Mm-hmm.
and have the feud still be entertaining. Um,
I think that double switch is what made it even more entertaining.
yeah. And so, word out of last night was that we talked about somebody taking time off.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman is heavily speculated to take some time off. Um, that's how the whole speculation of would he had even been able to compete last night. It wasn't so much um, injury related as it is. The injury was a work. He's taking time off for personal reasons. Um, I don't know what those personal reasons are.
And we shouldn't care.
Yeah, we shouldn't care. So yeah, he's gonna take what even might seem like months off. They're probably gonna write the story about how he was suspended for hitting a ref.
Multiple reps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because he leveled Paul Turner and Bryce.
yeah, there was speculation that he would not have been able to compete for those personal reasons, but um, the powers that be, he was able to. So yeah, he does deserve some much needed time off.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
throughout the entire 5-6 year history of AEW, he's been at the center of most of it. So he deserves some time off. Um,
Yep.
I mean,
That's
hell,
fine.
you might have to say AEW's biggest homegrown talent. I know I might have said some other people later or earlier,
Yeah.
OC.
but it might be Hangman.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
I said it was figure.
I think I think Swerve is a very well grown talent there. Even
Uh-huh.
though he wasn't completely homegrown, he's found more of a home in AEW than he did in WWE.
Yeah.
So I go if I go to WWE like,
Oh yeah,
Pretty
he
much, yeah.
said when Hunter took control, and they were calling so many people to come back, especially contracted AEW talent. He is the one. He said it that he is the one that contacted Tony and AEW's legal department, and he even told like when WWE called, he did not give him attention because like he said he feels like he's had a home in AEW and he's grown in AEW and he wants to succeed in AEW.
Hmm.
okay. So, all right. So he was Swerve was just talking about himself, not everybody else, was he?
Um, the only other person that I know of, that at least in AEW that was contacted was Keith Lee,
Hmm.
and they were together at the team, and they both said no to WWE. I don't even know if they picked up, but because I'm not sure if you remember when when all these emails started coming out, there was reports of AEW contract tampering with AEW guys, and
Oh yeah.
only two names that were confirmed were Shane or Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee.
Wow. Contract tampering.
So
Not a good thing.
it's a very vague. Um, like anything can be considered contract tampering, but all it was that they were trying to get the AEW talent to either get out of their contracts or just jump ship whenever the contracts expired.
Right.
Which thankfully nobody from AEW really took WWE up on their offers.
Mm,
So with that
goody. With that
comes
in mind,
the final
We come
match.
to the main event.
boom.
Yep.
Beautiful package, by the way.
Yes, it was a beautiful package. People have been. You see some online discourse whether or not they would have gotten WWE for WCW footage. They didn't need to because they did actually have a lot of WCW era pictures in the
Hmm.
video package.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
Yeah.
well put together.
I
If
am
you
a little
if you're
surprised. Wait, what was that?
I'll say if you're good enough, you can do the best with not with a small amount of assets.
Yeah,
So the fact
I
that they
agree.
didn't contact them, it's like they didn't have to.
I agree. I do agree with that. And although I am a little surprised they didn't have much TNA footage. I feel like TNA would have allowed that. Um, Especially since probably my favorite. I'll be honest, my favorite era of Sting is Joker Sting.
Mm.
I don't know why. I love that. Um, but yeah, no. See, so we had a wonderful package from Sting. Ric
Mhm.
Flair came out. Then
Ricky
the
Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat, who was the
That's what
special
was no
guest
surprise.
timekeeper.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, oh man, Brain must be loving this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was like, yeah, baby.
And then we had EVPs Matthew and Nicholas Jackson come out. Um, and then obviously Darby, and then I love that it was that introduction for Sting. You had his sons dressed up as former personas of Sting. I'm
Mhm.
surprised they actually went with Wolfpack Sting. Um, I felt you might have thought that there might have been a couple of copyright issues with that, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
And then Sting comes out to Seek and Destroy. I was hoping they would do it, and they did it for his last show. For those that don't know, Sting used Seek and Destroy by Metallica in his last couple of years with WCW before that company closed down. Um, so to hear it again for Sting, again in AEW, it was wonderful. And my God, the match. Sting said that he wanted this match to be memorable. He wanted people to
Oh,
remember
it
it.
was.
I didn't think
It
he was
was.
gonna go. They were gonna go to this lens.
It's funny because it's funny in a way because some of the way the match was progressing and going on, I
Yeah,
almost felt like I was seeing all of Sting's career in that match and all his personas, not just through his sons, but through all his other actions.
I mean through the actions, I saw a lot of like so Sting in AEW. You could tell he was very. He understands what era of wrestling he's in,
Mm-hmm.
and he's one of those few veterans that actually tried to adapt to the modern era. I guess you could also say it's something that PCO did.
Oh yeah,
PCO adapted to the modern era of wrestling, which is what Sting has done, and he's taken insane bumps. I remember when I went to Full Gear 2022, watching from my seat, Sting literally jump off the balcony onto like Jeff Jarrett and them. Oh my god! Like I couldn't believe right then the bumps that this man was taking.
oh yeah.
And my god, Darby Allen. Oh, those I know. Like I could tell from like when they pulled out the glass panes, I was like, that doesn't look like because being with Brain, being what we do with Deathmatch,
Right.
and seeing the glass planes that they use there. Um, so like they did look like different glass panes, but man, did they shatter? And you could tell. So I saw a tweet that said from Darby Allen, like pretending to say it was a quote from Darby Allen. Real glass, cry me a river.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, I remember when he took that ladder bump. Man, his back was shredded.
I
Did you
was just like,
hear?
what the
Not even
hell?
just see. Did you hear the impact?
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That blood reverberated around the arena,
No,
even
I didn't even
over
hear.
the,
I didn't.
even over the crowd noise.
I didn't even hear the thud. I hear the glass. I hear the.
I heard the thud.
I said,
Yeah,
uh,
that it
Because
was
I
an
had this on while I was at
insane.
work last night. I had my back to my I had my phone on the table. I had the sound going. I had everything going. I had my back to the screen. I heard the thud. I heard the shatter of the glass, and then split second later, you heard the thud of his body hitting the ground.
Like
And it
I
was
just
like,
remember seeing the glass, hearing the from the glass, and then he was on his stomach, and you just like you could see those open wounds
oh yeah,
throughout his back, and I'm just like, oh, that's gonna be nasty.
I'm just
the
like,
last time I saw
wow.
somebody cut up that bad was at a GCW show in Atlantic City. Eric
I don't
Ryan.
I don't remember the specific person, but yeah, no.
That was
Anytime,
Eric Ryan.
I mean, for me specifically, um,
Wow.
but yeah, and like he was out for most of that match, and man, I could
Yeah.
tell you
Well,
would
think about it.
sting.
He's on a 15-foot ladder inside the ring. The ring itself is 4 feet tall from ground to mat
Yeah,
below the bottom rope. He's on the third step from the top of the ladder.
yeah,
That's 12, 14 feet
Yeah.
plus the 4
Just up.
feet to the ground. You're talking almost 20 feet. He's almost at the top of a steel cage.
yeah,
He's almost at 2 stories, by the way.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's literally almost at the top of like Hell in a Cell
And then
or War
He almost,
Games.
he almost pulled a Foley.
He did
Still-
pull a Foley. Except
did.
he
No,
went
he-
to glass instead of a table.
No, he didn't get pushed.
It's
just
still
got-
the same thing.
He just dived off. That's all.
it's I'll tell you what, man. After that, and seeing Sting doing classic Sting stuff, like taking a power bomb and then getting like power bomb through a table off of a ladder and then getting right
And no
back up.
selling it.
No selling. He was hit with an EVP trigger. 1, 2, kick out. Hit with a second EVP trigger. 1, 2. No, not even 1, 2. It was 1 kick out.
Yep.
And then I think they finished him off with a TK driver.
Tried to finish it off with it. Tried to finish
Oh,
him off
it
with
tried to
TK
finish it off. Yeah, that's right.
tried to finish off.
And then they hit the coffin drop. Stinger splash. 1, 2, 3. Man.
No, it was nope.
Was it? No,
Scorpion
no.
Deathlock.
Scorpion Deathlock.
Thank
My
you.
bad.
It was submission.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Wow.
He made the little bitch tap out.
No, Punk's in WWE.
Oh. Anyway, I'll get credit. By the way,
You agree with me? You agree with me?
I wonder who was named of the kid of which son that was in the Wolfpack outfit. Because did you see how much airtime he had when
He got
his
so much
match?
airtime. But I can tell you right now, they got a lot of airtime, but they jumped way too early.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. But still, I mean, even early, it was just like,
Yeah, I remember that. He was actually giving it. Somebody was saying, like, what did they do, like, in real life? Because I'm saying to myself, man, what if these guys would have wrestled? Imagine them as a tag team? The Sons
Oh
of
my-
Sting?
oh my God, that would be insane.
Yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
right, I was like, makes you wonder what the hell did they do?
Yeah.
You never know. We'll put it that way. You never know.
So yeah, after the match, as you saw earlier in our show, people were missing cues,
Yeah.
and so AEW actually had to run out, had to come off the air because of strict pay-per-view rules.
Yep.
So we didn't get to see the entire Sting speech, but they eventually posted it on YouTube. Not long after. It was like within an hour. The whole speech at the end came up. But yeah, such a wonderful way to close out.
An iconic career.
Oh,
So before we get into the aftermath, Gentlemen, so I know Dollar Bill, you haven't seen the full show, so you can't give it a full grade yet. But Brain, what's your grade?
I definitely have to go with an A minus.
I am going to be one and the same as well. Um, like I said, all the matches were pretty much very, very good. Um, certain matches were not as good only because the rest of the show was so good.
Hmm.
You know. So yeah, I would have to say A minus as well. So
But even
just getting
the
in,
weakest matches was
very
still
good.
good. It wasn't
Yeah,
like you had garbage matches. You just had matches that may not have been as high tier, but they were not garbage. They were still
yeah,
good.
that were
Yeah,
overshadowed by others.
Yeah, flow. Dope.
yeah.
So if I had to, okay, so let's talk about the aftermath. Tony Khan did announce that the tag titles are going to be vacated, and we are going to have a tag team title tournament.
March Madness.
My guess is that um, I don't know how long the tournament's going to be. I don't know how many teams are in it, but I mean, this probably will get announced on Dynamite. But um, my guess is maybe uh, Dynasties where the finals happen.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
The payoff is
Um,
at Dynasty.
you
Well,
have,
yeah.
since it's the end of April, you have like a month and a half to build.
Yeah,
And you could just use March pretty much as a March Madness type tournament,
Yeah.
close to the tag
yeah.
teams, and then just do like finals towards the April towards
Yep.
Dynasty. Dynasty.
You got a March
Um,
Meat Madness.
and Tony Khan also did say that he's got some very big plans for Atlanta, which is this Wednesday. So, like what we were talking about earlier.
He's gonna turn off the
So,
lights and announce another guy.
Wednesday is the supposed date that Kazuchika Okada is going to debut.
See that.
Who he runs in on, we don't know.
Is he
Um,
gonna run in?
is he going to run in? How they work
I'll
that
They
tell
might
you
just
segment?
who's
introduce,
going to run in on.
or they may just introduce him.
Yeah,
Nah, something's going to happen. There's going to be some promo going on with the Don Callis family, and he's going to run
I
in
could
on
see
that.
that.
that's something I could
Or at
see
least
as well.
walk in, and start giving
Yeah.
him a mic and shit.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah. Mind you, also they have now debuted the official new Dynamite logo.
Okay.
But
Looking at it again, I actually do kind of like it.
oh, I love it. I love it because the one thing I didn't like about the old logo, it looked so basic to me, and it didn't really feel like a logo. This feels like a logo. Um, which so what might happen is that we're going to see a graphics package for this week. The next week, big business. That's when the new stage for Dynamite is supposed to debut. I it sounds like that this is going to be specific for Dynamite and Rampage. Collision's going to have their normal set. And I like how every show has a different look. Collision is different
Yeah.
from Dynamite. All the pay per views are different. I like that. Um, and obviously at Big Business, um, Tony Storm hinted at it several times um, about competing against Mercedes Monet, who is supposed to debut at Big Business. Once again, I loved it. At the end of the presser, she called out Wendy Richter, and I'm gonna fuck you up. I loved it.
Oh God.
But yeah, so that was a revolution.
Yeah, going back about 40 years with that one.
Oh yeah, see that's what I love. Wendy Richter is actually getting some love.
Yeah, she
Um,
hasn't gotten a lot of love lately.
so yeah,
Now, not for nothing, since he is in AEW, I would have expected her to pick on Jake Roberts' sister.
Oh,
Rockin'
what
Robin.
was Rockin' Robin? Yep.
Oh God.
You know,
So,
I mean, come on. I mean, you got Jake there. You might as well piss him off and pick on his sister because
um,
it makes the most sense. It really does.
so yeah, I would also say just hey, just watch out these next couple weeks of AEW. It's gonna be some pretty
AEW is
entertaining
going to
television.
explode.
Yes, you're gonna see a new boom period for them. You're gonna see so much more entertaining wrestling. Um, and please just watch on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Um, even if you
You
don't
can
like
watch on
AEW,
Fridays if you're really bored, but
yeah, just don't hate
Wednesdays and
watch.
Saturdays are the A and B shows.
Yeah, so I guess with
On
that,
Fridays, you can see yourself out.
no, that's for Mondays. So all joking aside, I guess with that, um, I would maybe say this is our one of our longest shows ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
definitely.
is.
Yeah,
Um,
130 mark. Oh, yeah, 131 mark now.
I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed it.
I hope
like
you
I said,
do.
we had a hell of a show to talk about,
Yes, we
and
did.
we covered it all. We did digress a little bit, but we do that every week.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me hosting duties, I guess, since I'm the resident AEW guy,
Indeed.
Hey, no issues there.
Nope, not at all.
So with that, Brain, take us out.
Gentlemen, as always, awesome show. And until next week, too sweet.
Woo.